Hello, we're going to be doing a video today about how women can stop attracting non-exclusive and polyamorous men. Pretty big problem that a lot of women have to deal with, that they experience. Some women experience it constantly. Like pretty much every man that they date is wanting some kind of polyamorous or non-exclusive, friends with benefits, whatever kind of relationship. Other women, it happens to less frequently, but they're still experiencing it, and it's a problem. And the reason it's a problem, the main reason it's a problem, is if a woman's being truly honest with herself, if her feminine instincts are truly online, if she is listening to her heart, she's listening to her body, she knows that she wants and needs an exclusive, committed relationship with a man who takes care of her, who creates a container for her of exclusivity, where there's no leaking sexual energy, there's no sexual energy that is going outside of the container. He's only interested in her sexually and is only devoted to her. That's if a woman's being truly honest with herself. And there's a lot of women who are not being honest with themselves either in this regard. So we're going to talk about the women who are honest with themselves and also that are not honest with themselves. We'll start with the ones that aren't. So because it's very obvious, right? There's a lot of women today that are seeking polyamory or seeking non-exclusive relationships. It's a really big thing. And this might come with some pushback, but I'm going to say it. Every woman who's doing that, it's because of wounding. Every single woman. It is because of wounding and trauma. It is because of a lack of trust in the masculine. It's because of lack of self-worth in realizing what they truly deserve. It's a dishonoring of their heart. It's a indoctrination due to feminism or due to whatever ideology, belief system that they have adopted. And all of that at the root is because of trauma. Okay? And I'm not shaming women for this. I want to be clear. There's a lot of men who will shame women for being promiscuous, engaging in non-exclusive relationships, being polyamorous, all that stuff. I don't do that. I don't shame women. But I do care about women. I do care that women are hurting themselves. I do care that women are not getting what they need deep down. I do care that women are wasting their lives away in relationships where they're not getting the commitment and the love and exclusivity that they really do need to be able to truly let go, to feel fully cherished. That matters to me because I don't want women to be causing their own suffering because of mostly childhood wounding that they've experienced. Some of it can be after childhood, but a lot of it is definitely due to childhood. And so those women, I mean, if we're talking about what women need to do, they need to be honest with themselves. They need to be honest with what they truly need, right? And then, so there's other women that are kind of halfway between that and, knowing that they really want an exclusive relationship. Right? Women who basically they settle. They settle. There's a lot of settling that goes on where it's like, oh yeah, it'd be really nice to have this thing, but this is okay. This is better than nothing, right? And I can say from experience as a man being on the other side of things, I can say a few things. One, the vast majority of women will be willing to settle at least for a certain length of time. I am saying that from personal experience as a man dating women in non-exclusive relationships, because that back then, that was my mindset and mentality is, I just want to sleep around and have fun. And, women are having fun too, right? So I didn't really see the harm that I was causing. And most women who initially early on seemed like they wouldn't be willing or said that they're unwilling, they are willing. they will. And so what they're doing is they're settling. Why are they settling? Maybe they wouldn't be willing with some loser guy or some guy that's not very confident in himself, or doesn't really turn her on in all the ways that she needs to be turned on. But here's what happens. That's what most guys are like, right? So most guys, women are not very turned on by. But then the, say, 10% of guys or 5% of guys that, are really successful with women, very charming, charismatic, masculine, they're able to lead, they say what they believe, they don't hold back, all of that kind of stuff. If women are not able to attract those kind of men consistently, right? If that's not a part of her reality, where she's always attracting those much more masculine kinds of men that turn her on, well, when one of those men do find her, and or they're turning her on and they're leading her and they're going on a date or whatever, she can often settle for non-exclusivity because that's better than what she's been experiencing, which is a bunch of boring guys that don't really do anything for her. And she doesn't want to lose that. She doesn't want to lose how that feels. She doesn't want to lose that attention. She doesn't want to lose, being in the warm end of the pool. And as soon as she does that, she has, she's not in her self-worth. She's not in her feminine self-worth. Whenever you're settling, you're not in your self-worth. It would kind of be like, the equivalent would be like me as a man, settling for a woman in a relationship, or even just sleeping with her, who's like really disrespectful, and she's, judging me and stuff. But it's like, I really want to get laid, or I really want to, be in a relationship. So I settle, right? I settle for the disrespect, right? That's dishonoring myself. And what that will ironically do, tragically do, is it's creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where I'm actually not going to be attracting high quality women. I'm probably not going to be sleeping with many women because I'm settling, and a woman's going to feel that in her body. She is going to feel that settling from a man in her body. And if you're a woman listening, you get this. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it's the same thing for a woman when she settles, when she basically trades her self-worth. She trades, she dishonors her heart to get something that she wants, everything, even if it's not everything that she needs from a man, right? Most people, whether man or woman, will do this. Most people, even if they say that they won't do this, will do it. They will do it. If you are one of those people who say you won't, you probably will. I'm just saying. If it was the right person to push all those buttons, you probably would. Okay? And if you would, then you're not fully in your self-worth, and you're actually going to be co-creating those situations, attracting the wrong kinds of men, attracting the wrong kind of situations. And this can manifest in many different ways, right? Like at the extreme, a woman could just be out seeking, non-exclusive relationships, polyamorous relationships, friends with benefits, whatever, and being somewhat transparent about it. And then on the other end, women could be, really wanting that exclusive relationship, and then they start dating, and then, they go on a date or 2 dates or 3 dates, and she really likes the man, and then, he's leading really well, and he leads her to his house or to her house or whatever, and then they start fooling around, and then the next thing that happens, oh, I don't know what happened. It just happened. I just slept with him. Oh, okay. Without any commitment, without any financial commitment, emotional commitment, without any relationship commitment, and you slept with him. And why'd you do it? Well, it might have been for approval. It might have been because you're afraid of disapproval, afraid of him, being upset with you. It might have just been because you're really horny, and you just couldn't help yourself, right? Lots of possibilities. But either way, whatever the reason, you dishonored your heart. Even if you really wanted it in that moment, you dishonored your heart. You don't have, it doesn't have to be, like there's lots of women who will say yes to sex when energetically they were kind of a no because they wanted to please the man in some way, approval, codependency, whatever. And that's often the reason, but that's not always the reason. Sometimes it's just because, oh my God, it felt so good and I was so attracted to him and I just really wanted to. But regardless, both of those things are a problem, because if you're doing it without that commitment, you're dishonoring your heart deep down, and you're going to continue attracting those kind of experiences and those kind of men. Almost certainly. I mean, there are exceptions. I'm not going to paint it as a totally black and white thing. But the thing is, if you understand that pretty much everything that you're attracting in life is coming from your self-worth, right? It's your belief systems about yourself. And those belief systems are going to be creating certain feelings that you have that are going to be compelling you into certain behaviors that are going to be creating certain experiences for you over and over and over again. And so, and a lot of those experiences are not good, whether it's a non-exclusive man, a man who doesn't really care about you, a man who's mistreating you, you're not able to find any men that are just wanting to claim you and take care of you, or that it happens in once in a blue moon. And then you start thinking, oh, there's just no good men out there, or there's almost no good men out there. That's not true at all. There's tons of good men out there. There's tons of masculine men out there. There's tons of men who want to claim you, who want to financially provide for you, who want to take care of your heart, take care of your body, create an exclusive relationship container for you where he just cherishes you basically all day long, and you get to let go and be in your feminine. All right. Lots of those men exist, and you can attract lots of those men. That can be your reality, but only when you shift the deeper belief systems that are creating something very different for you. Do you want to do that? Because that's what we do. That's what my team does, is help women do that. Like, if you want to really boil down what we're helping you do, it is helping you shift your deepest belief patterns, mainly by helping you shift your behavior patterns, and also helping you feel everything as you do that, and help and showing you like where you need to be shifting, what you need to be shifting your behavior patterns to. Because it's not as simple as just, hey, stop sleeping with men. Just create a rule. I'm not going to sleep with a man for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or until marriage. That's not going to fix your problem, because you didn't actually fix the self-worth stuff. You just created a rule for yourself. That's it. That's not going to fix the problem. You need to fix the deeper self-worth stuff that's creating all of these problems. And yes, that will probably mean waiting a much longer time before having sex, right? It probably will mean that, but it's coming from a different place. It's not because you're creating rules for yourself. It's not because you're protecting yourself. It's not so that you can then attract, you're doing it to attract the right kind of man. None of that stuff. It's because you're honoring your heart, because you feel how worthy you are. And that's it. Right? But to shift those behaviors, you need to know where to shift to. And a lot of those behaviors, most of those behaviors are going to be communication based, right? It's about learning how to communicate your needs and your feelings and your desires, the problems that you're experiencing, in a different way, where men are going to be inspired to take care of you. And that's going to shift your energy, and it's going to shift your self-worth over time, so that you start attracting much different types of men, and you're going to be attracting much different types of behaviors from men. And then it will solve all of your relationship problems. And I say all, like really all your relationship problems. I'm talking about one right now, which is attracting the wrong kind of men who aren't interested in real commitment. But it's going to solve everything. But you got to be willing to take action. You got to be, figuring this stuff out by yourself. It really, come on, let's be honest. It makes no sense. You need some level of support. And I'm not saying, hey, sign up in our academy program today. You might not be ready for that. There's going to be a lot of people watching this who are not ready for that. But at least, at a minimum, sign up for our Polarized Masterclass in July. Because that's going to give you a far better idea of how transformational this work is. And it's going to open up your beliefs. Like, if you got any limiting beliefs around yourself, everybody does. But if you have any specific limiting beliefs that this is even possible for you, that you could actually have this dominant man who just wants to take care of you and cherish you in an exclusive relationship with a solid relationship container who's living in integrity all the time, and you're just able to be safe to fully let go and receive him and submit to him. If you have any limiting beliefs around that, this is going to help crack those beliefs open. And it's going to show you what is actually possible and why you aren't getting exactly what you want, why you aren't in this devotional relationship right now. It's because of your communication. It's because of your behaviors. It's because of your energy. It's because of your limiting beliefs that all of that stuff stems from. And we're going to show you, not just by teaching you how to communicate in a different way, but also role playing it for you, how to start shifting this, how to start shifting your communication in a way where you're going to start attracting different types of men. And you're definitely going to start attracting different types of behaviors from men. And the other thing is, every man, I mean, maybe some are too far gone, but pretty much the vast majority of men who are kind of doing the non-exclusive thing can be inspired into the exclusive monogamous, I just want to cherish you and take care of you kind of thing. I'm not saying you necessarily want to do it that way. You might want to just attract the kind of man that wants to be monogamous from the start. But I'm just saying what's possible, right? You're not inspiring those kind of men to want to claim you, to want to claim your heart, to want to take care of you. Why aren't you? Well, it's because you lack the self-worth to do so. And there can be other reasons too, right? You might just not know how to respect them. You don't know how to receive them. You don't know how to communicate in a way where he feels inspired. You don't know how to fully submit to him. But a lot of this stuff, there's a respect stuff for him, but a lot of this stuff is going to be wrapped up in your own self-worth issues. The self-worth issues are the big, big, big thing. Not just any kind of self-worth, feminine self-worth, which is very different than what we kind of think of as self-worth in general. A woman who's fully in her feminine self-worth shows up very differently than pretty much anyone out there today, because most women are very deeply wounded. But you can show up in that way if you know how. If you choose that you are worthy enough of actually getting the right support and information to learn this. So start with the masterclass. If nothing else, start with the masterclass. It's 2 hours of us teaching you this stuff, doing role plays with you, showing you how to solve these problems that come up in relationships. Like, oh my God, I've been dating this guy X amount of dates and he hasn't claimed me still. How are you going to communicate that? Or if he starts communicating that, he's not ready for commitment, how are you going to communicate that? Or if he wants to, this is a big one, lead you to have sex on the first date, second date, third date, fifth date, whatever, before he's truly committed to you, before he is fully willing to financially provide for you. How many women have experienced that? Everyone? 99.9% of women? Do you know how to communicate, though, when that happens? Do you know how to communicate your needs and feelings in a way where he doesn't feel butthurt about it? He doesn't feel like you're rejecting him. Instead, he feels like inspired to want to protect your heart from himself and his horniness and his strong desire to have sex with you. And he feels inspired to want to protect your heart and lead into deeper commitment before claiming you sexually, before creating that kind of relationship, because he knows that you need it. Do you know how to communicate that? Almost definitely not. Are you going to learn how? Do you want to learn how? Do you want to learn how to inspire men to fully take care of your heart before you open your legs to them, before you engage in relationships where there's a good chance it's going to go nowhere, either in non-exclusivity or where he's not fully financially providing for you, where his heart isn't fully open to you in that way? It's your choice. PolarityMasterclass.com. That's the link. That's the website address for you to go to book your spot for the Polarity Masterclass, where we will do these role plays. We'll show you what it looks like. PolarityMasterclass.com. Give this gift to yourself. It makes no sense to continue to wait and delay on this, to continue to make all these relationship mistakes, dating mistakes. It's unnecessary. give yourself that head start to really figure out how you need to be communicating, how you need to be opening into your feminine self-worth so that you can inspire men to take care of you. Go to polaritymasterclass.com, book your spot. I will see you there in July. That's it for this one.